driving home and I think, oh, it's a catalytic converter. So the suspension that surrounds the honeycomb has basically just rusted away, and now the catalytic converter part of this container is now just laying basically on the bottom here. And so when the engine is running and shaking, it just makes that noise. So we'll just have to replace the catalytic converter. Fun stuff. I really hate exhaust work. So removing the front end is pretty easy. This bracket will bust right off, or I'll cut it off with a grinder or something. Then I'll cut like slots along here and pry it off until there's the friction is overcome. Typically I twist it and get that out of there. It's the other side that's more difficult. Now on this end you can see I have the catalytic converter going into the muffler. Also have to deal with the O2 sensor. Alright, to begin with, I'll remove the oxygen sensor. And every oxygen sensor I've ever dealt with was 22 millimeter. They make a special tool to get those out if you want to use that. Alright, here's the tool I was talking about. It kind of looks like a socket, has a slot cut in it to allow the wire to escape. And here's the O2 sensor. I have it disconnected. It was hooked to the body with this piece, and I just took it off with a body panel fork and then unplugged the end. Unplugged it by lifting up on the tab, not pushing it down. So I lifted up on the tab and pulled it apart, put the connection up out of the way. Put my O2 sensor tool on there. Or you can put a 22 millimeter wrench on there and hit it with a hammer if you like. But I'm gonna try breaker bar. See if this works. Alright, next, like I said, is I'm gonna try and actually break these clamps off. I don't want to grind them if I don't have to. So I'm going to put my impact wrench on here and see what happens. And yay, it sheared off like I wanted it to. Also, I want you to note that I am wearing my safety glasses with side shields because I really hate exhaust work. Crap flies everywhere. I'm also wearing earmuffs, so if I sound like I'm talking funny, it's because I have earmuffs on. So alright. Now just see if I can get that other one off, and we'll do the clamp on the upstream side also. So the clamp did come off, and you can see all this crap all over the place. It was actually flying around, so wear your safety glasses. Alright, I've already broken off the other side. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. So I sheared off the other side. Voila, clamp is off. Alright, now we're looking at the front end where the catalytic converter piping has gone over top the exhaust pipe, and this exhaust pipe is coming in off the motor, so this is the upstream pipe of the catalytic converter. Now last time I did this, I cut slits in here and peeled it back. You can see that the clamp kind of crimps it, and that along with the oxidation kind of seals it. Okay, here's where I'm at on the job. I ended up having to cut all the way around with my grinder. That was no fun. And what you want to notice on the upstream side is I'm very far back from the exhaust pipe coming off of the engine, so I have plenty of room to split that piece that was the front of the catalytic converter. So I'm going to start grinding and cutting and peeling that off first. Alright, I finally got that sucker off of there. Look how I had to mangle it. That was the side going to the exhaust pipe. The front of the exhaust pipe to the engine's right here. I just kind of drove it off with a chisel. A lot of banging. Real pain in the butt. All right, the catalytic converter is disconnected from the exhaust pipe coming from the engine. So now what I'm going to try and do is kind of twist it a little bit. I'm going to try and pull it apart. If I'm successful, I'll tell you what I did. If I have to put some heat on it to get it apart, then I'll record that. Alright, I couldn't do it cold. I tried and tried and tried, but I had to use the torch. And I heated it up. Hit it with my hammer. Had a strap on the other side pulling it apart. You can see where I was beating the holy crap out of it when I was trying to get it out cold. But now it's done. And I'm ready for a reassembly. Old one, new one, got a little bit of something in it. Alright, well, whatever. Also, it looks a little bigger. Alright, I didn't show it, but I had to use a pipe expansion tool. The new pipe really wouldn't slide right into place, the new end of the catalytic converter, so I just went to the auto parts store and bought this under their loan-a-tool program, so when I take it back they'll give me a refund. So I just used an impact wrench, expanded it. It worked great. I used it on the cold metal. I didn't have to get my torch back out, so I'm very happy with it. So there's a catalytic converter all the way into the muffler, whereas before it wouldn't even start. Especially since I accidentally hit it a few times with the hammer when I first attempted to get it out cold. So there's plenty of clearance on this end, so I am going to lift that up and slide that on. I already fitted that side. It fits very loosely, so I will lift it up and slide that on, make my adjustments, and then put the clamps on. Before tightening the clamps and setting everything in place and adjusting your catalytic converter to exactly where you want it, be sure that your hangers, if there's more than one, are assembled and put back together correctly. So you like my tailpipe rigging? So I'm kind of jacking it up until the hole on the hanger aligns with the body. So as soon as the hole aligns there, I'll just start the bolt and finish it up. I'm ready to tighten down the clamps, and then I'll install the O2 sensor, and that'll be it. Alright, let's get that O2 sensor in there. And there we have it, new catalytic converter. Reuse the O2 sensor, reuse the muffler. So that's a catalytic converter and 2 new clamps.